Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live with the Bridge on our YouTube channel. It's AFC Asian Cup season. The Indian women's team is starting its campaign tomorrow, and to discuss everything about the team, the impending matches, and India's potential World Cup qualification, we have today with us. Firstly, let me introduce Mr. Anthony Andrews, head coach of the East Bengal women's team. Thank you, coach, for taking out time for us today.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes, and we also have Mr. Mizpah Richard, who is the former media manager at both Sethu FC and Gokulam Kerala, and a huge advocate of women's football in general. Thank you, Mizpah. Thank you for taking our time.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting us. Pleasure being here.
Yes, gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about, and I won't be wasting any time because India's first match is tomorrow for the uninitiated. India takes on Vietnam at 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time tomorrow. The tournament is happening in Australia, and you can check out all the live action. I think it's been streamed on Fan Code, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, that's that. So India, first time that India, the women's senior team has qualified for the continental showpiece event by merit in 23 years. So that's a huge deal in itself, right? And both of you who follow, because you guys follow Indian women's football in great detail, let's just start by speaking about that for 2 minutes. How big of a deal is that exactly, Coach? If you want to take this up.
I think, firstly, as an Indian, forget about the coach, we are very proud of what we have achieved, uh, especially on merit. And this shows that we are no longer surviving on invitations. So, very happy for what we have achieved. And this group of players need to be appreciated of what they have done. This dream started in 2022, and a lot of players are part of this squad as well from there. So very happy, and I'm looking forward of how our girls will be doing in this campaign.
Absolutely. Richie, what was your reaction when Sangeeta Basfo scored that brace against Thailand to clinch our
Obviously, a
ticket?
great joy, because this is the first time we have qualified. I've been around players who were part of the 2022 squad as well, and they were all devastated when they couldn't continue further due to the COVID issues. But this time, after the qualification, they were all in tears. You could see on the TV that they were all in tears, and they were all together, which was a nice sight to see. Credits to Crispin coach as well because he has done a wonderful job with the short time that he had to manage. So obviously, great joy and qualifying on merit is always something to be proud of, right? And to go and play against teams like Australia, Japan, and Vietnam, all those teams who have already been part of World Cup editions, is a great thing for India as a whole, especially for women's football.
Yeah, so true. Let us just take a quick look at the team, the squad that has been put together for this particular tournament. So there's in you can see the team, the entire squad right in front of you on screen. There are quite a few young names. So we have, of course, a few players who are very experienced, the likes of Grace Dangmei, the likes of Sangeeta Basfo, the likes of Manisha Kalyan, who are the spine of the team in more ways than one. But we have quite a few young names as well. So to both of you, any particular player who you think has the potential to break out in a big way from this particular tournament?
Quite a lot of players, I think,
Sorry, I
because
missed.
Sorry, coach. I was just asking.
Yeah,
Richie is taking it first. A few players who we
yeah.
should be looking out for and keeping an eye out for. Yeah, Richie, you can continue.
so I said quite a lot of players actually. So if you see Babina, so there are around 14 players who have played less than 10 games for India in the squad, right? So out of 26, 14 players have played less than 10 games. That's like a huge mix of players with the experience and without the experience. And without the experience, you have players like Babina, Nirmala, Kavya, along with the experienced players like Shilki, Sweetie. Shilki, for me, sometimes I feel like she was crucial throughout the qualifying stage as well, and she will be crucial in the upcoming days, definitely. And some young players like Babina Kavya can break out during this competition. I think because they have been doing well in the IWL, and it's just a continuous process of how they have come from that stage to the next stage now. Now in the next stage, when we have all these games, they've been winning a lot of games in the friendlies recently, and I look forward to those young players to go and make a statement whenever they were given a chance.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Uh, Coach Andrews, you must have worked very closely with a lot of these players, right? In the East Bengal team. Any insight that you can give us about their headspace right now? I'm sure you must have been talking to them as well recently.
Uh, I mean, there are a lot of players, not only with East Bengal, but a lot of players I've worked with in Gokulam as well. Uh, 26 players, I feel they're not the best 26 players, but they are the best 26 profiles what India have now. And all these 26 players can contribute massive in these three games. Talking to them like every day or on and off also, they are very, very motivated. And it, like I said, the dream is not now. The dream has been started from 2022, which was an unfortunate incident where the team could not play due to COVID. But this chance, I don't think that these girls will let go. And there was a slight glimpse when they played against Thailand. The hunger, the dedication, what we have seen playing against Thailand was something different. And I'm expecting all of them. Even if a player gets 1 minute to perform on the pitch, I'm sure that that person going to give 100% on the pitch, die for the country. And everybody knows that this opportunity will not be coming again and again. But more than that, the hunger and the dedication from all these players throughout the years will be great to watch on the pitch. So yeah, I hope whatever hard work they're doing just reflect on the pitch.
Yeah, yeah. It's worth pointing out that there's one change from this particular squad that you can see on screen. Anju Tamang unfortunately misses out due to an injury, which happened late last week, and she has now been replaced in the squad by Karishma Shirvoikar, who plays for Sribhumi in the IWL. So she'll be joining the squad now. So that will be a big miss for India. But talking again about some of the big names that are there and who might be the standout performers for India, right? So Manisha Kalyan is the most obvious name. Of course, she has been the leading light of the Indian attack for quite some time now. We have the solidity and the experience from Dangmei Grace. We have new emerging talent in Soumya Gogula. We have Silky Devi, who Richie mentioned just now, and the core of the Indian team right now seems very strong, right? And they can hold their own against even more established opponents. I would like to say. Uh, how do you see this evolution in the team since coach already mentioned that the team had started back in 2022? In the last 3.5, 4 years, how do you guys see the evolution of this team and where this team is at right now, especially considering that we have beaten the likes of Thailand during the qualifiers, we've beaten Timor Leste, Iraq, Mongolia, all of those teams quite convincingly, and then ending up with a win on Thailand. So, how do you see this team's evolution and how do they stand up in terms of their mentality against the giants of Asia? Richie, you want to take this first?
I think it is a start of something really great, right? So this particular point we are in is a great intersection of where you are given a chance to do something right here. Like every player is motivated. This is for us as a country is a great chance to start something bigger. From here onwards, we can only move forward. So in that aspect, all these players that you have mentioned just now do have the responsibility to take this forward for the younger generation as well. But more importantly, as collectively as a squad, if they manage to make an impact for the younger generations to come, this will be a huge bonus because from this point there is no way for us to go back, right? They have all evolved really well. All these players that you have shown just now have been part of Gokulam at a point of time where we both worked with those girls. And Anjutaman's loss is obviously a big worry at the time, but I still feel we have a really good squad to take this forward because collectively as a team they have gotten better and better over the last few weeks. The general comments from the camp is also very positive, that they're all motivated, all the play, even the younger players as well as the senior players, they're all having that same vision of qualifying for the World Cup, right? That shows a really great intent among the players, that they are in the right position, the right time, and they know what job they are supposed to do now. So I think this will be the start of something bigger for Indian women's football.
Yeah, that's exactly what we hope for. Coach, your thoughts on the team's evolution in the last 3 4 years?
I mean, I agree at some point with Richard, but at the same time, when you mentioned so many players on the screen individually, I also we have worked, like you mentioned, we have worked with a lot of players individually there. But I believe that individual quality is obviously there, but collectively now it's time to put all the efforts what we have done, and I believe that all the 11 players who will step on the pitch will be playing a crucial role, followed by the bench player who will come and make difference. And like he said, like we are all aware that they are motivated and they want to do this, they want to do it for the country, they want to take this chance and prove themselves as a nation, because like I said, we waited for almost 4 years to come again with this, with the mix of young and with the mix of senior players. And like I said, there are 8 to 10 players who were also part in 2022, which happened in Navi Mumbai, and they are also there, followed by the senior players with 92 caps, 62 caps, 72 caps. We have hell of experiences in the squad, and they've been playing together for the club, being part of the national team for a longer period of time. So they know what it takes to be there. They know this opportunity will not be coming again to us. And I believe, being around with them for so many years, I know that they're going to give everything on the pitch, irrespective to whatever come in their way. Whatever even is happening now, I am 201% sure that they will fight. They will fight for our matches. They will fight for the people who are watching. They will fight for the people who are supporting them. And I urge everybody, all the Indians, to watch the games and keep supporting these girls.
Yeah, that's the ultimate aim, right? To spread this women's game amongst more people and football fans in general. Let's talk about the new head coach now. Amelia Valverde, a big name in world football in the women's sport. She's taken her country, Costa Rica, to the World Cup twice, once in 2015, another time in 2023. She's done wonders at the club level as well in North and South America. But the problem here is probably that she has had just about 4 to 6 weeks to train with this team. So in that time, they've had preparatory camp matches in Europe, and now they have been playing in Australia as well since going there. How do you see this a particular appointment, Richie? And do you think that her World Cup playing experience, I mean, it's one of those intangible things, right? That you can't quite factor in, but it plays a huge role sometimes in terms of shaping the mentality of a squad. How important is her guidance going to be, you think?
I didn't expect that question to be pointed at me, because I cannot speak on like being in shoes of a coach. Anthony is the better person, but in my views, that I, as an outsider, from also from the feedbacks that I've received about the coach, she has been outstanding so far among the players. Everybody respects her, and also if you the previous interview, I think a couple of weeks ago or a few days ago, she had an interview where she said. She didn't want, she was not a coach, she was a player, right? And then the club was about to shut down, and she was the captain at the time, and she was asked to inform the players. Then one of the players informed, why don't you take up the coaching role for us? And that's when it started, right? So that's where she said, she in the interview mentioned that this is, I felt like this is where I belong, being a coach more than a player. So she stopped playing and started continuing with this coaching journey. That is a perfect case for someone like us, right? India, where you have very limited resources, and you are put together a team, and you are given a job to do. And she constantly has been doing that with the Costa Rican team, as well as a club that she initially started. So that kind of resonated with me, where she might be the right fit for the job, where you have all the operational issues and all the logistical issues and limited resources with training and everything, but she has already been facing all that in her career before, so she knows exactly what to do with the current squad that is given to her. And I hope I wish her the best, and I really hope that she does the best as well.
Yeah. Coach Andrews, your thoughts on the appointment and her tactical acumen and the general approach to the sport in general?
I think before I even speak about Coach Mila, I think we just need to go back. Like you mentioned that she just joined. Obviously, she just joined 3 4 weeks maybe for her. But before that, we played a friendly in Shillong against Nepal and Iran, and things were not in our control at that point of time. And then we had this IWL, and then we went to Turkey. Sorry, we were in Gurgaon for some camp, and then we went to Turkey. That is how it was, and there were a lot of trial and error was happening, and I think that might be that one of the reason can be that the new experienced coach coming in and helping the team, because we as a nation, and I think the federation also might be thinking on the same line that we need experience at that level. And for me, if you ask me, obviously any help to grow as a nation or as a country from anyone we should appreciate, and what federation have done to get this coach, obviously her experience will definitely help us, and we can even see in these 3 games like Richard mentioned. Yes, we did hear positive things about her. Now players feel more confident, and what we heard is they're also she also emphasizing them to play on the ground, which a lot of players enjoy also nowadays. So a good sign for them. But obviously, 3 4 weeks for this for a new coach to rebuild a philosophy, it will be difficult for her. But
Yeah.
what she might be doing now is to sharpen their behaviors of the players and try to use them according to their strength and weaknesses. What I believe now at the point, because 3 4 weeks for any coach, being for me as a coach also, it's very less. It takes time, but I think the amount of experience she's carrying, she will definitely deliver. And we have seen the friendlies which they have played. The result speaks um, more for her. Now, I think as a coach, she would be more involved in building this team as a team, getting the best out of them. Like for example, set pieces, structures, or whatever. But what I believe is for her now, her job, her role becomes more of clarity over complexity. What I believe is her job is more of clarity now in the team than complexity. But I am sure that with the feedbacks or the amount of experience she has, I'm sure that the players will deliver on that given day.
You mentioned clarity over complexity, right? And that's such an
Obviously.
interesting way to put it, because when you have such short amount of time with a team to set up a team in a particular shape, maybe defensive, maybe offensive, you can't do everything. You have to focus on a few specific things and do them really well. So, from a coach's point of view, Coach Andrews, what would you do, or what are the absolute non-negotiables when it comes to a situation like this where there's so little time to prepare a team?
So non-negotiable is discipline and the behavior on and off the pitch. It's non-negotiable. Like I said, now the job. If I am in that place, that few weeks, like I said, I cannot rebuild the philosophy. I can only sharpen their, or I can only polish their behaviors. I can only polish them where I need to, when I need to work on them, or when I need to guide them that this is the area where you have to do, or making sure that the responsibility, the roles and responsibility for each and every player, from individual to a group to a team, is very clear. The amount of experience she carries, I'm sure that she might be working on the same, and she will be doing the same thing. But now, for players to understand the responsibility in this short time, now it's a big task for her as well. But the amount of all these players, like I said, they've been playing together for a long time, and more than all these things, the dedication and hunger. I kept on saying this from the start. This is very important. The hunger to play, to fight for every ball, to defend their lives together, to attack for the ball. All this is very important. In this 4 weeks, she can only guide you. She can only take you to that, to the destination. Now it's you, what you're going to do as a player. But like I said, being around with this player for so many years, I am sure, and I have seen that hunger in their eyes. I'm just waiting for tomorrow 4:30. The alarm is set, and I cannot wait to see our girls putting the best foot forward for us.
Yes,
There's also
absolutely.
another aspect
Yeah.
to this where, like in the first point that we were discussing about the players, no, so many players have not played more than 10 games for India, And when you speak to them, you know that many players, not many, at least a few of them, did not actually know what scale or what level of competition this Asian Women's Cup is, right? Before they reached Perth. So once they reached Perth, and when they see all this branding around them, when they see the big stadium around them, they realize how big it is. So for them to, whenever they are asked to step into the ground for a match or during a match, it is going to be a task for them to be strong mentally, because it is going to there is going to be a huge crowd. They have never played in such situations. These are the aspects that needs to be considered by coach also, and also by the players, that they have to be trained well enough to, because you cannot put somebody direct into such a situation, right? So this is something I've been always thinking about, because as players, they did not understand the level of because right, this Australian edition is really huge, right? Compared to all the edition, this has blown up, and everybody is watching the game. 44,000 plus people have come for the first game. So for Indian players who have not played too many games in that situations, in those kind of grounds, is going to be a task for them to keep them focused inside the ground as well.
Yeah, we're all waiting for that match to kick off tomorrow evening, and we absolutely can't wait. Talking about India's pathway to the quarterfinals, hopefully at the Asian Women's Cup. This is the group that India is in. India has Japan, Vietnam, as well as Chinese Taipei in the same group. Japan obviously are the gold standard for women's football in Asia, without a doubt. A fantastic team. They are a very progressive, very attacking, very possession-heavy team as well. Chinese Taipei, Vietnam both have their own objectives in this particular competition. And so India's match tomorrow is against Vietnam, of course, and that is where we kick off tomorrow. Uh, how do you think India's pathway to the quarterfinals looks like? So, for those who do not know this, there are three groups with four teams each. There are 12 total teams competing for the competition, and the top two teams from each group, so six teams, will qualify for the quarterfinals directly, and the two best third place teams in the three groups will also qualify for the quarterfinals. So that is the primary task, right, for India to qualify for the quarterfinals by hook or by crook. So in your mind, how confident are you guys that we can actually achieve that and accomplish that, Coach Andrews?
Uh, the minute you said by hook or crook, for me, let's pause here, because I think reaching here, it's massive. It's a big achievement. Without any support, these girls have proved themselves to reach here. I'm not saying that that we did not got any support, but being around with these girls, the limited resources or the limited support, they have reached here, and even qualifying and to be at this stage in Australia is something we should appreciate. Now the pathway, I think I as a coach will not predict anything, because they have given everything even to come here. Yeah, and I think all the fans or all the people who are supporting even women's football should understand this, that we should be proud enough to reach here. In 1 year we will not get everything. To reach here is also a big task, and I think our girls have done it. However, what I feel is there are three games, and each games will give them a different challenge. I'm sure that they have done their homework, and they are doing their homework, and uh, that's why there's so many technical staff is there. But if you ask me if they will go to a knockout stage or what will happen, I would tell them, if I'm the coach, or if you ask me, I just enjoy the game, take one game at a time, give you 100%. Results will eventually follow. Realistically, there is a chance where we can compete against Vietnam and Chinese Taipei, but I also believe that Japan will also be a surprise thing, where the girls will be more motivated to play against them, because because I think in their mind also they think that everybody talks about Japan, and they think that we are less than Japan. And while talking to the players also, they are more motivated to even play against Japan. So all these three teams, I think they will put their best foot forward, irrespective of whether they win all the three games or whether they win the three games. What I want them is to enjoy all these three games, give whatever is in their control on that given day, enjoy the game, help one another, work as a team, but don't forget that you are playing for your country, you're playing for the badge. Just work as a group. Rest, God is there to keep in control. I don't want to put any pressure on them, and let them enjoy.
Yeah, it's absolutely right what you said. The first thing is to enjoy yourselves and have a great time, because this is you don't get to represent your country at the Asian Cup a lot of times, right? So that is the most important thing. And you also mentioned a few of the players that you've been speaking to them. They sound really confident. The same happened with us as well. So for all of you who are watching this, please stay tuned for our exclusive interaction with Dangmi Grace, Silky Devi, Soumya Gugulot. We have the interview coming up. Over the next 24 hours, and they there also I personally spoke to Soumya, and she was so upbeat about the opportunity of playing for India in such a massive competition, and it was so heartwarming to see her confidence, even while India is facing teams that are ranked higher than us. Let's just quickly take a look at all three teams, a quick glance at their FIFA rankings right
But
now
uh,
and their
I'm
profiles.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
go on,
sorry.
go on, go
You
on.
just mentioned about. I'm sorry. You just mentioned about Soumya and the word dedication. I kept on telling from the start, and I just want to give you an example since you mentioned Soumya. Soumya played with us in AFC Champions League, and then SAF Champions League, SAF Championship, and then IWL, and then she got a little knock, and she went to the national team. Her call up was there, and since she was injured, she was sent back home. Believe me or not, that girl did not even go home. She was in Kolkata. We were taking care of her rehab. Not even one day she went from Champions League from October, November to till I think December or January, something like that. She didn't even go home, and she was working hard, taking care alone with one of the players there, with our medical team, sitting there just for what? Just to play this AFC, just for this. And I am so happy that she made it. It was a long season break for her, but she recovered well and everything went. And I'm just rooting for her that she performs better for tomorrow. So, and that's all the dedication, and that's all when you said she's a player to watch even in this tournament.
Definitely, she is definitely one of the ones to watch out for. Like I was saying, a quick look at the three teams that we'll be facing in Group C. So first up is Vietnam tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Like we've already mentioned. Their FIFA rank right now is 36 compared to India's 67. But we all know that rankings in the women's game doesn't really count for much, because we often see close results between two vastly differently ranked sides. So that probably shouldn't be a conversation, but again, Vietnam have their own strengths. They are a very disciplined side. They are a counter-attacking side as well. And they recently made their World Cup debut in the 2023 Women's World Cup, and they will be flying high since then. Uh, Vietnam is it's probably good that we are facing Vietnam before Japan. I mean, I don't want to sound negative, but Vietnam presents us with a solid opportunity to get something from the match. Richie, is that how you are looking at it as well?
Yeah, I think that's what Anthony has mentioned as well. Vietnam and Chinese have a realistic targets, but however, as a fan in you, you want them to perform well against Japan as well, right? So good start would be Vietnam because, um, uh, like you said, instead of going directly to face Japan, the results could go either way, even with the fight, right? But with Vietnam, we have a chance to do something better, and like what we did against Thailand as well, right? We had taken our chances and we got the best out of ourselves and came out of the match as a winner. So that's kind of expectation that I have against Vietnam. Like you said, ranking does not matter in this case when it is in women's football, when it is in a higher stage as well, because everybody has come to this point almost by qualifying methods of the same qualifiers. So when you face them in a match of higher stakes like this, you are almost equal. You want to fight, you want to put up that same effort. The other teams will also be aiming for, right? However, they have an advantage of playing together for a long time with their coach, and we have had a short time, but we expect our girls to do better because they know each other for a while now. They have been traveling with them, even in IWL. They have been together, so they all pretty much know each other for a long time, even though they have not played together for a long time. So that one key aspect might be a disadvantage for us, but I still think we will do well against this team.
Yes, and also, Coach Andrews, you mentioned a little while back that Amelia Valverde, as a coach, her philosophy is to play with the ball at your feet, right? And that is something that players also enjoy more often than not. So, playing against a team that are experts at that, for example, Japan, and maybe showing India that our girls can play a brand of football that is consistent with the top level in Europe and everywhere else as well, right? How important is that going to be? Never mind the results, whatever happens, we'll see. But in terms of their performance on the pitch and how they apply themselves and how they execute the plans, how important is that going forward into the, because this year we have two other Asian Cups as well, and moving forward there are other competitions where we have to improve. Coach?
I'm sorry, I missed you in between. Can you please repeat again?
So I was just asking that you just now mentioned a little while back that India, Amelia Valverde especially, wants to play with the ball at our feet, right? We want to play possession-based, attractive football. And to be able to do that on the biggest continental stage is, never mind the results, whatever happens, we'll see. Whether we win, we lose, that's part of the game. But their performance on the pitch and how they execute those plans, that is something worth looking forward to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. See, they've been training this, and all the IWL clubs over the times they also started that. So the only thing is to match the tempo, to match the speed of the play, and to make better decisions at the earliest. If we take too much time on the ball, then obviously we will lose possession too frequent, and then we need to defend without. I mean, defend all the time. So I mean, the coach is encouraging them. They just have to make better decision now and try not to lose possession. Even if that happens, then we quickly regroup and defend again. But keep trying that, because this, like I said, this is not the end of the journey. We have a long way to go, and from these three games, we will eventually learn something better here, something good from here. So if they keep on trying that, what they're doing in the training session, then obviously the result will follow.
Yes, that is exactly what we are all hoping for. Uh, uh, I want to now take the conversation to how the pipeline for Indian women's football is looking at the moment. I'm sure Coach Andrews will like this particular slide that I've prepared for him. Of course, the IWL and East Bengal won the league last year, and the IWL in general, not just in terms of producing new talent, but also giving a platform to the Indian players to play year round, right? It has become a bigger tournament now. This particular year, it's happening in two phases because of the interruption due to the Asian Cup. But both of you have worked with or at clubs which are integral parts of the Indian Women's League, and you know how the league works inside out, right? How has the league evolved and developed over the last 5 years? Do you think, Richie? Let you take this first.
It has definitely evolved to become better than where we started, which was a natural process to go forward, right? But in the recent years, we have had definitely so many setbacks in regards to the league, particularly this year where everything was delayed, and then there was no home and away format which used to be there before. But last season was really good. Last two seasons, when they started the home and away format, the last couple of seasons have been absolutely outstanding seasons. The only thing lacking is we have very less number of teams in the top division, because you lose one game, you are at the relegation zone. You win one game, you are at the top of the table, right? So that's how it is with 7 teams playing, 8 teams playing. So in general, the league has definitely evolved, but there is still a lot of work to do in terms of taking care of the players, not just. Particularly in all the seasons, we have been raising one particular discussion with AFF all the time when we were part of the club. It's always about the calendar, right? Once the calendar is fixed, only then the clubs can start preparing for the season. So most of the time, until this season, almost every club has faced this, and every club has raised this issue regarding the calendar. Because with girls, they are usually part of their job or college, right, university. So this is an existential problem here in women's league particularly, because the university games, for their universities, they are studying in a scholarship sports quota, so they must play for their university regardless of what you play, regardless of IWL or which state you, which level of IWL you are in. They are forced to play in that university games, so that's something that is always clashing with IWL. If the calendar is fixed and if the calendar is released early, every year we hear the same thing, that the calendar is going to be released early and you have you have months to prepare, but it never happens, right? When it comes to the actual execution, it doesn't happen. That's a major problem currently for all the clubs, starting from IWL, IWL2, even for the state leagues. It's an existential problem. I hope we manage to find a solution to that, because every player wants to play more and more games. It's just about finding the right time and implementation for the clubs. Clubs end up spending more and more money because of this calendar issue, and the players also forced to play one game just 2 days before in Manipur for their nationals, and then reach the same night to Chennai to play their next game, or to Kolkata to play their next game in IWL. So that's something we have had 2 days of preseason 2 years ago. 2 days of preseason with the whole squad before entering into IWL2. So this is something that they must address, and in order for IWL to get much better, it's definitely a growing product as a whole. The more and more teams comes in, it will be much better, I believe.
Yeah, that's so important that you raised that point here. I also want to stay on the same track and ask Coach Andrews, since you have managed in the IWL multiple teams, and you are a winner of the title as well multiple times at that. Uh, where do we still need to, like Richie also pointed one very specific issue. Where do we need to address our all our attention to be able to consistently churn out world class potential or players with a ceiling which is pretty high? What else do we do at the IWL level so as to achieve that? Coach, what are your thoughts on that?
I think the first thing is that let's treat equal the way we are treating the men's football. Let's treat the way we are treating the men's football. Let's treat equally. Let's not do the league for the sake of doing it, just to finish the league. Okay, then rest will follow. What I believe is, unless we this league is just for what I believe is, this league is just come and go. It's in a quick span of months. As Richard mentioned that, lack of preparation and XYZ reason, but there are also a lot of positives as a coach to take away from here, and I think that we can talk later. But for me, if you ask me this, I think let's treat them equally. Let's give them the same opportunities, more number of games, more more time to breathe, more time to recover. And if all these things falls in place, then you can expect a lot of things. If unless that if you don't do all these things, then you expect us to play World Cup. Come on, it doesn't happen overnight. So yeah, let's treat equal to these players.
Even
Yeah,
in this edition, I think if we had started the IWL early, and if the girls had many games to play before entering into this camp, it would have been a huge advantage, because right now I think they have played only 7 games, right? So 7 games and then directly to a 50, 60 days camp might not be as good as other teams, because IWL has definitely increased in quality, the quality of players. All the players have come up. The prime example is Sanfida. Sanfida has come up the ranks from IWL2 to IWL, and then to the national team in a short span of time, right? So there are players who are ready to put everything on the field for the country, and the more games they play in IWL matters a lot. If the more games they play, the national team is going to get much better players as a whole.
yeah, we
Adding
absolutely
to
have to
adding
do. Yeah, yeah,
adding
coach.
adding with Richard's continuing with Richard what he said. Obviously, Sanfita is a prime example, but at the same time, the tempo of the game has increased. The physical challenges has been improved. Players are so capable enough to run in a match for around 7 to 9 kilometers, and we have seen this. The I mean, more than that, the decision makings have are improving now. We haven't reached what we want. Obviously, it will take time for us to tactically get more strong. But we have over times we have seen coaches putting the system into the players with different formation, not typical that 1-4-4-2. Coaches are trying with 3-5-2, 4-4-3, 4-2-3-1. So different formations we have seen. So over times, IWL help is helping the players to understand the structure as well. But again, in 7 to 14 games, it's not enough. We need more games, more number of teams. The bigger league we have, and at the same time, understanding the physical structure of female, not giving them games after every 2 days. It is also a difficult task. So if you see the graph in every years, and when we play every second day a match, we start first 2 3 games, you will see the tempo of the game like this, and after third or fourth it will drop. A good team will also lose games, and it's not about the best players you have in the team. We are not understanding the physical structure or the psychological of the players, and we are just running the league for the sake of doing it. Again, I'm saying it. But if we chalk down all these things together, all this whatever hard work these players are doing will give better result for the country as well, not only for the club but for the country as well.
Yeah, we have to do everything in our power to ensure that the next time we qualify by merit is not 23 years later, right? That has to,
Yeah.
I mean, that's an incredible stat, and so thankful that that line has finally been crossed now. Uh, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about to you guys. I just have one more topic that, and I will like to bring Richie into this. So this is still a developing news from Australia, where the Indian team's jerseys, the kit of the Indian team, had to be procured locally in Perth because of a logistical fiasco. So, as we understand, AIFF had sent jerseys which were actually made for age group teams, so they were slightly shorter in fit for the senior team players, and a lot of the senior players had written to AIFF to let them know about the issue, and it has since been sorted out. But do you think this would affect the players' morale going into such an important match tomorrow? Because you want everything to be perfect, right? And this is far from ideal, is all I'm going to say. But do you think this will affect them, or are the team solid enough to survive this little scare and just push forward?
I think so. I think the team is much more solid enough to, because they did not affect them morally, but they were a little disappointed for sure, because they are walking into a huge stage where it is going to happen, and they were not happy with the way kids were printed. But I don't think it is going to affect them morally before the match in terms of match situation. And I also heard that the kids have arrived today with the locally sourced kit, and the players like it also, and they have done their photo shoot and stuff today, which is a good news to hear, no, right? So they are happy about it. They are very much pumped. The whole fiasco is now forgotten, and they're happy with the new kits that are given to them, and they're going to go into the match with a positive note on this. However, being said that, we have had this issues quite a lot of times with visas. For me, when we were working in the club, we used to have this issue, right? The jersey problem is always has been a big problem for us, because the regulations and everything comes really late from AFF when we were part of club competitions. It's all in the last minute. So in the last minute, when you come and say that you cannot use this font, or you have to have a certain logo elsewhere, and all these changes happens, the clubs are not able. It's near impossible for clubs to do those changes for IWL or I League for that matter. So we kept on running around to source these things in a club level. So that same thing is now reflecting in the higher level as well, because as an administration point of view, this is really bad, because you have the time. AFC does not have any change in regulations as page. It has been the same for years. You know what to print, you know where the logos are going to be. Everything is been on the table for long time. You cannot. I mean, this is unacceptable from AFF on how this was dealt with. And luckily, they managed to source something locally within a day's time. That's a good news. And but in general, I don't think it's going to affect the players at all.
Yeah, you mentioned the photo shoot. It's always something to look forward to, right? For players
Yeah.
especially. I remember there was this one scene in Chak De India which still till date stands as the movie for women's sports in general, right? And there was this song where they had the photo shoot, they had the team dinner, all the teams were there. It's such a great place to be in, especially for these girls who a lot of whom are experiencing this stage for the first time. Yeah, thank you so much, Coach Andrews, as well as Richie, for taking out time. We all hope that India can overlook all of these minute glitches and just go out on the pitch and give it their all tomorrow and get a result, hopefully. But it's going to be a fantastic fortnight of action, and let's just hope that India gets the job done.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, everybody is looking forward to it, and tomorrow's match we cannot wait. I think the girls are going to do well. I wish the best to all the coaching staff as well as the players to do an excellent job tomorrow.
From my end also, I think the girls will do their job. But the only request from all the fans: have patience, keep supporting the girls, irrespective to whatever comes on our way. We
Yeah.
the girls need the support throughout all the three games. Again, irrespective to the result, keep supporting, and I'm sure that they will make us proud.
Like I said,
Yes,
let
to
this
all
be the
of yeah.
beginning of something better for women football. It's the
Yes,
starting
this
point of
has to
something
be
better.
the
Yeah,
beginning of something much better. So
yeah.
you have it there, folks. Keep your eyes peeled on your televisions and your phones and your laptops for tomorrow as India takes on Vietnam, followed by Japan and then Chinese Taipei, and hopefully a few more matches after that as we progress to the knockout stages. Once again, Coach Andrews, Richie, thank you so much for taking out time and sharing your thoughts with us at the pitch.
Thank you so much for hosting us. It's a pleasure. Again,
Thank you.
always talking about women's football is always a joy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Take care.